Hello, what's up guys? This is Oston Cypher back again with a brand new video on web development. So what you're seeing on your screen, we are having 4 columns, and for this case we have not used any floating elements. They are just columns, and I'm going to be showing you how you can achieve this. Let's say you are writing you're like drafting a newspaper online and you want users to view this in columns. So we are going to be using the CSS3 multiple columns rules. So behind the scenes I went and erased all the code, so when I refresh here we shall be left with our h1 heading, and this is my file or web page where I'm going to be designing from. Then in this folder, webpage.html, and this CSS file, I linked it here. I used the link tag, the rel attribute type, and where it's found the hyperreference. So in our body we shall create a div. Now you can give an ID. If it's going to be the only div on your web page, you can give it an ID, but for the case when you want to apply it somewhere else, it's advisable to use a class, because you can put classes anywhere you want on any element, so long as you're going to be using the same style. So I'll call this multiple calls, so short for columns, and I'll create some fake paragraphs here. So I'm having some fake text, I'm going to be pasting it there. So that's it. This is what we are having on our web page, but we want to split it into 4 columns or 3. You can set it to your desirable columns you want. So in our CSS we are going to be targeting this class we gave to this div. So I'm going to copy the class as it is. For a class you start with a period plus the name of the class. So you put column count, so only this will achieve you specify the columns you want for. Save, preview it in the browser, and we are having 4 columns. We have not used any floating element property, so only that can give you the magic you want on your web page. But there are still other attributes or properties you can use. You can use other properties. So notice the gap here, we are having some small gap, but if you want to add some more gap, you write column gap. So column gap, so you can specify, let's say like 40 pixels. Save, and it has left some gap in between the columns, which is okay. Now there is also another property called the column rule style, column rule width, so we are going to be looking at that also. We have the column rule style, and we can say solid. So, and this will create like a border in between these columns, as you can see, those black borders. We can go ahead and style these black borders. Still, we can reduce on its width by saying column rule width, and I will say 1 pixels. As you can see now, it's light or small, it has decreased inside. We can also style its color by saying the column rule color, let me say red. We are not going to be using hexadecimal stuff or RGB, so we are going to be using plain text. So red, and bam, the borders are red. So that's the only trick around this multiple column stuff using CSS3. The next stuff is, if you don't want to write all this, let me put it in a comment. If you don't want to write all this stuff, column, row, styles, there is a shorthand which I advise you to use, because this may be confusing you. You just write column rule, then you specify the properties used here. I will say it has to be 1 pixels solid red. So this will still give us the same stuff. So to prove that it's working, let me change the pixels, the width, to like 3 pixels. As you can see, that's what we are having, and that's how easily you can create a multiple column layout on your web page. Thanks for watching, guys. Please, if this tutorial was useful to you, go ahead, subscribe to my channel, share the video on different social medias, and I'll be back with another video. Peace.